Hi, everybody. It's Thursday, March 24th. We're about 4 days into the sign of Aries, when the sun enters Aries. This is always an important thing when the sun moves into new signs, because the sun is the barometer of how we're feeling in terms of our vitality, how happy we are to feel alive on the planet, what makes us feel joyful, experience life with a full energy in the present moment, high octane. The sun is a fiery planet. It's a star, but we call it a planet astrology. So it's your energy, your goals, your will, the joy you feel at being alive on the planet Earth at this time, and what you're doing, and how you're going to be moving forward, expressing yourself, your creative self-expression. We all want to be a star of our own life, and the sun is how we star in our life, and how we shine, and how we take focus. So whenever the sun shifts into a new sign of the zodiac, it's going to influence the kinds of things that stimulate us in terms of being alive. So each sign has a different motivation, but the sun is always about the will, our ego, the expression of joy, energy, contentment to be alive in our goals. Aries is a particularly potent sign. It's the first day of spring. In Western astrology, everything is measured from the first day of spring, and all the signs of the zodiac follow there approximately 30 days in sequential order. And we measure everything that in the Western zodiac. The Eastern zodiac does the sidereal calendar. I won't be talking about that right now. But the first spring, everything bursts. Aries is a sign of bursting forth, reaching out, vision, creativity. It's birth. It's giving birth to life. It's the first sign. So it's life itself. So when the sun enters Aries, it's an extremely potent energy of experiencing new life, bursting things forward. What image do you want to project? Aries rules the face in the medical astrology. What face are you willing to show people? How honest are you going to be? How blunt are you going to be? What action you take to start a new life, to start new projects, to start new things, to make new beginnings. Aries is very vital. It's very energetic. It's very athletic. And the sun is said to be exalted in this sign. It's in dignity in the sign of Leo, but even more exalted in Aries, because Aries is the sign of initial life, and the sun is creation of life. So this is like a double whammy of creating new life, creating new energy, creating new vitality, starting new projects, getting things off the ground. So the sun in Aries has a wonderful feeling of, I can do anything, I can conquer the world. You know, there's a tendency, it's how I assert my will. So you want to assert your will in very strong ways, in very definite ways, in very yang ways. Yang energy is energy that moves from a center out. It goes out in the world. It thrusts. It reaches forward. It's just the opposite of yin energy, which is more internal and more security oriented and spirals down and reflects. Yang energy likes to just go out and conquer and go out into the world. This is the yangest of yang energies you can have. So it's a wonderful time after we've had 3 months of a Venus retrograde, and a lot, the new year got off to a very slow start with the Omicron and the pandemic having kind of put us all in a backwards motion. This is the energy we need, along with the Venus and Mars conjunction we had earlier in March in Aquarius, to start new things, to get projects off the ground, to move forward, to re-socialize, to get back out there. It's a very good time to let go of the old and lick your wounds and move forward. We always have to take into account the placement of Mars when we're talking about the sign of Aries, because a planet rules a sign, and in astrology, Mars rules the sign of Aries. So even though Aries is a very forthright, me first kind of sign, we have to see what Mars is doing to direct the Aries energy. Well, here Mars is actually helpful to the Aries energy because he's in Aquarius. So the new beginnings that Aries likes. The eruptions, right? It's giving birth is a new beginning. It's always a little violent though, but the new eruptions here in terms of going forward want to be tempered by the sign of Aquarius, Mars in Aquarius. Aquarius cares about the future. It cares about friends, groups, alliances. So everything moving into the future, this is an added thing of what are my goals, my long distance goals. Aries is a very visionary sign. In conjunction with Mars being in Aquarius, it's visionary towards the future, a more utopia kind of society. What are my ideals? What's good for the group? What's good for my team? What's good for my community? Aquarius has a lot to do with the internet. There's a lot of new beginnings here, probably with people working on the internet or away from the internet. This is a social sign, Aquarius. We're opening up social paradigms again. The Omicron and COVID have seemed to have abated a bit. I don't want to say they're gone forever, but they've abated. So there's more socializing, there's more energy, there's more confidence to move forward into the future, to re-socialize with friends, to go out again, to reconnect. Mars and Venus are traveling together in Aquarius, but the Mars part of this is more important for the Aries sun. To show off, to go out there, to re-socialize, to get back out there, to meet people again, to go back to work, to get back to a new normal, right? The future is a new normal based on what's gone on in the past. You have to be a little careful because for the rest of the month, Venus is besieged between Mars and Saturn. So the planet of socializing and values and love and harmony is kind of under assault still. So, and she doesn't kind of get out of the besiegement until March 29th, March 30th. So there are certain things that are still going to feel a little stuck, especially when it comes to money, especially when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to anything you value, that might be a little stuck in between Mars and Saturn while Venus is besieged. So it might be slow going and getting something that you care about pushed forward. It's like slow, cautious, steady. But the bigger picture here is the Mars and the Sun ruled by the Mars and the Aries Sun ruled by the Mars and Aquarius is suggesting a big move forward. It's just that you might not have the most cooperation from others to go full speed ahead the way you might want to, which is not such a bad thing. The besieged Venus might just caution to slow down and reconsider and not have such a bombastic kind of Aries energy with a Mars in Aquarius, which can be very bombastic and throwing out the baby with the bathwater and moving too quickly ahead and having accidents and being a little bully-like and not caring about other people's feelings. There's a tendency with this Aries and Mars energy to do that. The besieged Venus, even though it's not considered to be a very nice placement for Venus, it will temper things probably in a good way if you're very aware of taking one step forward, two steps back, and doing things a little more cautiously, considering your options, considering other people, not spending as much money, doing it slow, doing it measured, calculating what things cost, what the worth is, what the value is, the love and appreciation of others in terms of how you do things. So when Venus comes out of besiegement at the end of the month, and we're still in the sign of Aries, and Mars is still in Aquarius, you'll notice even bigger uptick in any projects that were started in at the beginning of March, or as the sun went into Aries around the first day of spring. It's nice. Things will go incrementally. So enjoy the weekend and get in touch with that fire in the belly, which is what Aries is, and come alive and feel the joy.